Welcome once again to Willey Farms. I'm Donna Cavender. We've got another great show for you today. We're going to talk about bees. We're going to talk about the fruits and vegetables that are available this time of year. And right now we're filming in April. So we've got mushrooms and mangoes and artichokes. Rainbow chard, we're going to have a recipe on that. We're also going to do a recipe with lemons, so hope you'll stick around for that. That's coming up. It's always our favorite segment of the show is the cooking part. So we hope that you'll stick around for all of it. We're here at Willey Farms, Route 13, very easy to find. If you're traveling on Route 1, we're just north of Smyrna or just south of Odessa. Route 13, Towns End. Check it out on our website at www.willeyfarmsde.com. Well, we've got a show to do, so let's go. We're going to talk about bees first. Well, welcome to the greenhouse. I'm here with Bob Bauer from Midnight Honey Apiary. Thanks for coming by today, Bob.
Thank you.
Okay, and Bob is one of our vendors. He supplies some of the honey that we sell here at Willey Farms. Beautiful looking honey. And again, this is, it says wildflower honey on the back here.
Right.
And Bob, how long have you been in the bee and honey business?
Since 2008, so 8 or 9 years right now. I've been started out real small doing bees and just 1 or 2 hives, and they really kind of grow on you. You know, I really love doing it. Then farmers started asking if I had enough to help them pollinate, and so I just grew enough to provide some to farmers, and up to about 30 hives now.
Okay, 30 hives. Okay, and
Yeah.
how many bees is that?
One hive, in the winter it goes down. You know, there's less in the winter, 10,000, but in the summer you have 50 or 60,000 in one hive.
Wow, and you have how many hives?
30.
Good grief, that's
Right,
a
so-
lot of bees.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bees.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, today we're going to talk about not only bees, but other things. We're going to talk about how to be pollinator friendly. And you brought this subject up, and we were talking about it, and we said, okay, well, what does that mean, pollinator friendly? And apparently there's an issue with that.
Right, there's an issue that it just manifested itself from people that move in, you know, new developments going in, and for a new development they normally just plow over, you know, whatever bushes are in there to put in the houses.
Okay.
And then people want to put in like beautiful ornamentals, which is fine, but those ornamentals don't feed any of the pollinators in any way.
Okay.
So really the theme of this is planting some natives, some native shrubs and flowers and trees, along with everything else in your yard. You don't have to get rid of the exotic things, but just plant some native stuff.
Okay, there's a compromise there.
Right.
All right, so let's talk about who are the pollinators. Who are we talking about?
Okay, so I started off with honeybees is where I learned, right? So honeybees are considered managed pollinators because I can take 50,000 of them and lend them to a farmer, right?
Okay.
So they're considered managed, and everything else is not really managed. You have the bumblebees, which come out when it's colder weather. So that's important for people with like apple trees that bloom. Apple trees bloom for like 1 week, right? And if it happens to be kind of chilly that week, my honeybees aren't going to be out on your apple tree. But if you have native bees like the bumblebees and apple orchard bees, you can get pollinated because you helped encourage natives, you know,
with
previous
the
to that.
plants
Right.
and everything. Okay,
Right.
so it's not only bees, but it's also other pollinators that we're worried about too.
Right. So we have butterflies, and you don't think of that, but butterflies and moths.
Okay.
You don't think of the moths either, but if you look at like zinnias or something, there's going to be a lot of little moths on there. You don't hardly see them because they're brown, tiny. They're called skippers or whatever.
Right.
But they're there pollinating, you know, as well.
And we need these pollinators.
Right.
If you have, not only for your flowers in the yard, but if you have a garden.
Right.
If you've got a garden and you're wondering, well, why didn't I have as many tomatoes last year, or peppers, or cucumbers, or whatever, that's probably because the population of our pollinators has decreased.
Right. So most of the native pollinators grew up in like meadows, right? You look at an old-fashioned meadow where there's just anything could grow there.
All the clover and all
the clover
that sort of thing.
and the cone flowers, the black-eyed Susans, the you know, the daisies used to grow there, but those areas where no one ever touches are going away, right? So most of a lot of pollinators are going away. Like all the, like a lot of little sweat bees and stuff like that, they grow in like the little reeds of, you know, reeds of a plant, and when it dies, there's a little reed. So they lay egg in it, they'll put pollen and lay egg and put pollen, and all these bees will be in this little reed. But people mow this down, you know, farmers not knowing would mow that once a year, and those are all gone.
So what we can do to help out is to do a little compromise. You come in with your home, whether it's a new home or an established home, and you want it to look really nice. And we understand that. But what you're trying to get out to the people is that you can make it look really nice by using some of the pollinator-friendly trees and flowers and bushes and things like that. So it's still going to look beautiful, but you're also going to be friendly to the pollinators, and everybody loves to see the butterflies flying around in the yard. It's great, and we're kind of encouraging people not to swat at the bees, right? We don't want to swat at the bees too much. We can understand that, but we want to try to be as friendly with them as we possibly can.
So another thing with the, so we're talking about putting in native plants, and we could go in that more. But another thing is you have clover and dandelion in your yard, right?
Yes.
And people don't like it. They don't like that, and so
I dig up my dandelion. I do. I don't spray. I guess that's better. I don't spray, but I do try to dig them up because, well, they are pretty, but they are invasive, and you leave them there, and it's just, you'll have one great big yard of dandelions.
You would. So I would ask, like, if you are going to spray them, which most people will, spray them in the evening is better than spraying at noon. So there's all these dandelions and clover in your yard. You spray at noon, the bees come down to it anyway, and the bees are going to pick up that poison, right? So if you spray in the evening, they're going to be in, they go in kind of early, and you can still do the same thing. So it's all about education. Even with, you know, mowing your yard or something, it's about education where you can do the same thing and have the same effect, but really have a lot better outcome because you sprayed them in the evening.
So you give all the pollinators, whatever they are, the bees, the butterflies, and everything. You give them a chance to come in and feed, and get the nectar and do whatever it is that they need to do in the yard, and then they go away.
And then just spray it in the evening. So most of it'll be dead by tomorrow. They're not landing on it and things like that. You know?
Okay. All right. Very good. And what are the other ways that we can help? Let's talk about some of the specific bushes and trees. Now, we're talking about butterflies. Not only do we want to be friendly as they pollinate, but we want to be friendly to actually draw the butterflies to our yard and give them a habitat where they can actually lay their eggs and grow. Okay, so let's talk about butterflies. How do we be friendly in that regard? How do we attract them? And what do we need in our yard to make them stay and lay the eggs and then become more butterflies?
So I'll start where I started out on butterflies, was the monarch butterfly, because it's the most iconic one, because it flies from...
Beautiful monarch butterfly.
Monarch butterfly, because it's the only one that migrates, right? It goes all the way from Mexico. Throughout the country, several generations, ends up in Canada, and then in the fall, that butterfly flies 2,000 miles back down to Mexico. Mexico's been having a problem where sometimes you get cold weather, but then they're having deforestation, which is something we can't help, right? People are logging because they are poor, but so this one town that they all move to in the winter, where they stay is being deforested, right? So we can't help with that, but what we can help with, like, for instance, the butterfly is like planting milkweed, which there's more than one kind of milkweed. We all think of the ugly one that looks like a rubber tree plant, you know, and gets yellow in the fall, but there's other varieties of milkweed. So,
that are prettier.
Yeah, there's one here called like the butterfly weed and stuff like that. And so that's to get the monarch, right? But all the other butterflies, you don't think about it, but they came from caterpillars, right? So oak trees, like a simple oak and simple maple, they lay their eggs on those, and then you have the caterpillars. You don't even see them. These trees are big, and you can feed, like, there's 500 insects alone that feed on different type of
Oh, wow.
plants. Okay.
All right.
So,
and these trees are really big. So
Right.
when the caterpillars come, and they do start to eat the leaves.
Right.
But it's not something that they're going
Right.
to strip
Right.
the tree.
Right.
They're just eating a little bit to sustain themselves, and then they
Right.
go through the stages of going from a caterpillar to the chrysalis. Is that
to
next?
chrysalis.
And then
Right.
okay.
Right.
All right.
Right. So, so like for instance, if you have a non-native bush there, all the leaves look perfect, and people go, "This is great because
Yeah.
nothing eats it. All the leaves are beautiful." And then you have a native one, and you have little circles cut out of them, and leaves
Right.
shoot up, and you go, "I don't like that one."
Right.
But for the insects, and you know, I hate to say invite insects to your yard because it's not a good sell.
Well-
but listen, the insects are the building blocks.
Sure.
The birds eat them, you know, and then, you know, the
It's all
hawks and
part of the
everything.
life cycle.
It's all about if you really want to be a nature steward. Okay, insects are important, just like the krill and the algae in the ocean is the building blocks. You don't think about it, but the insects are really the building blocks
Okay.
for all the larger animals that eat the insects. And the insects turn the plant into like animal, right, meat from the sun's energy. So we have the sun's energy, plants. These insects are important to be turning it into like the animal kingdom, and many things feed on the insects.
So they're important, and we need to take care
Right.
of them. And we've got there are a lot of books out that
Right.
they can get more information if you're really interested in this and making sure that you have a pollinator-friendly yard and how to make
Right.
it all happen. There's lots of great information in these books and some pictures that you can check out to so that you know what you're looking at when you're seeing something in your yard and you go, oh, I don't know whether that's good or I don't know
Right.
whether that's bad.
Right.
So, all right, so being pollinator friendly, we're going to try our best, Bob,
Okay.
to be pollinator friendly. And one more thing, we're
Okay.
very excited about the butterfly project that we've got coming up here at Willey Farms a little bit
Right.
later on in the summer.
Right.
We're actually going to grow butterflies.
That's right. Yes.
We are, and Bob's going to help us with
Yeah.
that. We're very excited about that, and we'll have more details on that, of course, in the shows to come. So,
Right.
Bob, thank you so much
Oh.
for all the great information. Really
You're welcome.
appreciate it. All right.
You're welcome.
Well, here we are on location today. We're here at the Young Bean with Eric Young, and we're here because Eric roasts coffee. Now, Eric, does that make you a barista, or what does that make you?
Well, the barista stuff is behind the counter, but
Okay.
I can do that too. And coffee roasting is a whole different ball game. And,
Okay.
You know, so that's
All
a whole
right.
different. I have one other person that helps me out sometimes.
Okay, great. And we're going to get into detail on that. But we're here because your coffee is sold at Willey Farms.
It is.
It is.
It
Okay.
is.
So how did you get into coffee roasting?
Basically, this place was for sale in town. I had lived around the corner at the time, and it was available. This town needed a center for coffee and whatnot, and art and music, and it really needed something. And I kind of went from there, and it was an old place, and I'm into the old style stuff, just like Willey Farms is. They have a lot of that old country feel,
Right.
and I was after that look. And then I ended up with an old roaster that I restored. And
Oh, now where did you get the roaster?
I actually drove to Indianapolis to get it.
Wow.
Off of an old guy who had a peanut business. He had roasters and he made popcorn, peanuts. He did all this kind of stuff. He
Okay.
had it available, and it's about 1900 or older.
Wow.
So I jumped into it.
Okay. Well, that's great. And the building is great.
The building is 1850. It was the old town hall, town jail. It was a post office at one point. I think the Boy Scouts met here, meetings, Masons, you name it. Old Town Safe, it's still here. The out back was a 2-cell jail, so I got the jail bars sitting up
Oh, so
over
if
the
people get a
window.
little rowdy in here, you
Yeah,
can just
yeah.
put them out back and put them in the cell.
That's right, yeah. Now it's a 1-bedroom apartment, so
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So the roasting process, how does that go? Where do you get the beans are green when you get them?
Right.
And where does that come from?
I have a guy that I work with up in Massachusetts, and he's actually from Bolivia, and his family's in Bolivia. And so he has the beans come over. He only has 4 different single origin bean. He does Brazilian, Bolivian, of course, Costa Rican, and Colombian. So those are my 4 main beans I use. Sometimes I'll get some different ones here and there, like Madagascar or whatnot. But I get them in green. I don't know if you can, here's one, a little one here.
Okay, a little one.
And
it looks just very green.
Yeah.
Not much to it. Now, do all coffee beans start the same? Are they the same? And then it's the roasting process that creates the different flavors and different things like that?
It's the roasting process. They're different sizes. There's different species.
Okay. So do you get the same kind?
Well, those 4 I do.
Okay.
The ones I get from there.
All right.
And then you roast them and they expand and they crack like popcorn. They crack a couple times. And,
Okay.
And they get roasted up. And
All right.
And one of the unique things is, like Willey's has the farm feel and that kind of style.
Right.
Well, the roaster's the same way. The roaster's a flame tips them, so there's a very unique taste to it, unlike other coffee roasting you might get in the store and stuff. So it's very unique, and it fits well with the building and different farmers markets style.
And we're going to take a look at the roaster. We're going to go out and take a look at that and see the process. And you've got some beans that are just getting ready to come out of the roaster.
They should be ready in about 10 minutes or less. They could be ready now. We'll have to go check. This will be a second batch of the day, so it should be really good.
Now, how did you come up with the name? The Navigator.
I'm a C-130 Navigator up in Newcastle in the Air Guard, and and that's the stamps I put on all the bags. You can see the airplane, and I've heard I had come up with a name besides the name of the business. There's cowboy coffee. There's this kind of coffee. I said, well, why not Navigator coffee? That's kind of unique. And
why not?
Kind of an antique myself, so
I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. And I know that when I first stopped by to talk to you, you weren't even here. You were deployed.
Right. I was overseas on the 8th or 9th one. I can't remember which one it was.
Oh my gosh.
Back roasting coffee, and it's nice to have my own coffee for a change.
Yeah, nice to be home. And this is a nice little homey coffee shop here. And I'm sure the people in Clayton really appreciate it.
They really do love it. Here, my regulars are here every day.
All right, great. Well, thank you for your service, number one.
Thanks.
And now, let's go take a look at that roaster.
Let's check it out.
Okay. Well, this is how it comes in. We're out in the roasting building right now. That's the green coffee beans right there. Let's go take a look at what happens after they put it in that beautiful vintage roaster. So come on, let's go here. Eric is here, and you can tell it's a little noisy. He puts that in there to take a look and see if it's roasted enough. And it's kind of an eyeball thing. You just sort of look at it, and this is what he goes by. This is the green bean right here, and then as long as you roast it, it just gets darker and darker. And Eric, you said we're looking for about number 14 here today?
Yeah, a little dark, a little bit oily. That's how people want it in the coffee shop, and I think we're about there. You guys ready to dump it?
Okay, let's dump the coffee beans.
You hear them crack a little bit.
Now, a little quieter now. You were saying about the crackle. You can still hear it pop? Oh, I hear.
They're still expanding a little bit. They're gonna cook a little bit in here. That's why sometimes I'll dump it a little bit early.
Okay.
And now we're really just gonna cool them off before we bag it and ship it off. Or
wonderful.
Ship it, or to the shop, or
now these beans,
else.
You were talking about the country of origin. You come from 4 different countries, and which country are these beans from?
This is Costa Rican.
Okay.
And this is also the same beans we make vodka out of.
Oh no! You make vodka out of these same beans?
These go to the down to the Painted Stave in Smyrna, and they make a Time Warp espresso vodka.
Wow!
Actually, in liquor stores in Delaware now.
How about that? So we cool these off, and now what's the temperature? What does the temperature get up to in the roaster?
It ended up topping out about 350.
Wow. Okay.
About 350.
And this is the vintage roaster that you were talking about earlier. Oh, about 100 years old at this point.
Yep, this is a Royal number 5.
Royal number 5. Okay.
Made by the same company as the Royal typewriters, if you want to think about that, New York,
Oh, wow.
New York State.
Wow. Now you will stir this around and get this cooled off a little bit, and then it just goes right in your bags.
It goes right in the bags or the jars. I sell it in the shop, and just different places like Willey Farms will get it too.
And you are really a one-man band back here, aren't you? I mean, you have the paper bags, and you put a stamp on the paper bags, which are awesome with the Navigator brand on there. And you make note of the country of origin there, Costa Rica. You bag it up and take it into your shop, or you take it to Willey Farms and we sell it there too.
Yep.
That is awesome. And how long have you been doing this?
2012 is when this building was finished out here.
Okay.
And we started immediately on the roaster.
And you've had the coffee shop since?
2010.
All right.
So we're just past 5 years now.
Excellent. Well, it looks like you're doing a wonderful job. Are you still enjoying it?
That's a lot of fun.
Because it started out as a hobby?
Started out as a hobby, just something cool for the town, and art, music. It's just a meeting place.
Oh, that's right.
now.
You were telling me there in the coffee shop you have is it Friday nights you have music, live music?
Every Friday night we have music and dinner inside.
Wow.
Prepared
That's awesome.
Prepared from Kathy.
All right. That is awesome. So there it is, the process of roasting coffee from the green bean to the finished product here. Eric, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Now, you just bag all this up and bring it out to Willey Farms, okay?
I'll bring it right over to you, nice and warm.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
And so here we are once again at our favorite spot. We're at the sampling station. I'm here with Eileen.
Hi, Donna.
Hello. And we're going to do some cooking, of course. Now today we're talking about the fruits and vegetables that are in season this time of year. And one of the things, we'll talk about the rest of them, but one of the things that is in season is this beautiful rainbow chard.
This is Swiss chard, and it comes in 3 different colors. It comes in yellow, red, and white. The stems are the multiple colors, but the top greens, the ends are mainly green or red.
Okay.
So we're going to saute them today.
Okay, so is there a particular name for this dish?
Just sauteed Swiss chard.
Okay, and you use it as a side dish?
You do. You know, Swiss chard is, when it's young, you can use it as a salad. But when it gets mature, it's a little bit more bitter, so you want to saute it.
Kind of like spinach, where you have baby spinach used in a salad.
Yes, it's not as bitter as spinach, though.
Okay, all right,
great.
great.
So I've already put in a tablespoon and a half of olive oil and butter and 2 cloves of garlic, which I've chopped up.
Okay.
So I'm kind of sauteing that. I've done this for a couple minutes.
Okay.
And then after that, we kind of drop our 2 bunches of chopped up Swiss chard in the frying pan.
Okay.
And this frying pan has a lot of love, you see.
Yeah, I see that.
It's the best. It's my favorite. So if you don't mind dumping that in.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
And like you said, you kind of need a big pan because
it cooks down.
It cooks down, but you have
4 people. This is only for 4 people.
You have to start with a big pan.
Yes.
All right.
So this is going to take about 8 minutes to cook down.
Okay.
I do like to add a little bit of salt.
All right.
Salt to that right now.
And I see we have some more.
And a little bit of crushed red pepper, depending on the heat.
Okay.
Now I'm just doing just a little dollop.
Okay.
Because I don't like it too hot, but I like a little bit of flavor.
All right.
And then I have lemon juice, a half of a lemon, which I'll do at the end.
Okay.
And of course our pepper, which I'll do at the end too.
Okay. All right.
So we'll let this sit for a little bit. I have a lot of other loveliness.
Okay, so let's talk about the other vegetables that we have that are in season right now.
Yes.
Let's go over here and talk about, we have the lemons.
And that's what I'm going to use is a Meyer lemon.
Meyer lemon,
Meyer
okay.
lemons are not as strong as a regular lemon that
Oh,
you
that's
see.
the difference.
That's the difference.
Okay.
They're great in cooking. It's just not as sour.
Okay.
I would say.
Great.
Not as sour.
And we have here?
Oh, these are snow pea shoots. These are wonderful in salads and sandwiches. You can use as a garnish. You can use it as a replacement for lettuce.
Okay.
Very sweet, snow pea shoots.
All right.
And of course, our lovely asparagus.
And it's on locally right now.
From Sothersville, Maryland. Godfrey Farms brings in the asparagus, and it is just top notch right now. Of course,
it depends upon when you are watching this, but the local asparagus, usually, what's the season for a local asparagus?
Mid-April.
Mid-April.
To end of May.
To end of May. Okay,
yes.
so there you go.
Until it gets real hot, then asparagus is done. It actually grows at night in the evening when it's nice and warm. If it's cool at night, it stops. If it's too hot, then it just blooms out.
Well, it's just downright picky, isn't it?
It is, but it's beautiful. If you've ever seen it, you have to Google asparagus in the fields. It is just amazing to see.
Okay, so what else do we have? We have some scallions, green onions there.
Yes, green onions are on in the early spring. Beets, I have a red stripe beet, a red beet, and a golden beet.
Golden beet.
Oh, so sweet.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And are those mangoes that I
We
see
have
over there?
mangoes that are coming in season. Of course, not from around here.
Right.
But in the tropical
Sure.
area, they're in season.
Okay.
And of course, lovely spinach. And this is actually from New Jersey, so this is on right
All
now.
right. Okay.
This beautiful spinach.
And over on this side, we have the cilantro.
Herbs. It's this is herb time.
Herbs. Lots
Yes,
of herbs.
Herbs. Cilantro, parsley, and you can actually start planting them now in
Oh,
your pots. Just bring
okay.
them in the evening and put them outside.
Okay,
during
so
the day.
around April you can start planting your herbs.
Yes.
And that's when we have them here in the greenhouse as well,
Yes.
that you can go and
That's
plant them.
correct.
And of course mushrooms.
Mushrooms are available all year long, obviously, because they're grown in greenhouses. But this
Right.
is the time for mushrooms. It's warm in the greenhouse. You can turn off the heaters and let the Mother Nature do its thing
Okay,
in the greenhouse.
great. Okay, so now we have had our chard in there sauteing for about 8 minutes.
Yes.
And as you can see, it has very
It has wilted
gone
down quite a
It's
bit.
wilted down quite a bit.
Yes, I'm just going to add the juice of a half of a Meyer lemon
Okay, and you do that at the end.
right at the end.
Right at the end. Okay.
Yeah, it just has that nice fresh spring flavor, Donna. And then we're going to just stir it up real quick.
Stir it up a little bit.
Yeah, I just have to add a little bit of pepper.
Okay. A little bit more
to
pepper.
That. Yep. And then we're good to go.
All right. So then we get all of our
Now you
beautiful.
can use this as a side or a main dish. This is wonderful with barbecue chicken. It's just delightful.
All right.
It's just a taste of spring.
Oh, I can smell it. I
Yeah,
just
a little
got
bit
a
of
really
garlic.
good whiff.
Has a little bit of that crushed red pepper.
Okay.
We use the butter, olive oil.
So we put a little bit in our,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit in here.
Whoop.
Whoops. Got to chase it around a little bit. Okay. Did you get
It's
your?
so pretty.
Get yours. I get mine.
Okay.
And let's have a taste.
Again.
Sautéed chard. Oh, see, I'm going to be messy. I can tell. It's just kind of all over the place.
Hurry, Donna.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There it is.
Really good.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that nice?
Now-
See, it's different than spinach. A little bit more flavor. Not as bitter.
Yeah, you're right.
And you can eat this cold too. The next day, cold, bring it out for lunch.
That's great. Little sautéed Swiss chard in season in April. How about
That's
that?
right.
All right.
Here at Willey Farms.
Next time, I get to do lemon bars.
Ooh, dessert.
Yes.
Okay.
We've had our good, healthy stuff. Now it's time for dessert.
My favorite part.
So now we've enjoyed some of our delicious rainbow chard. Now we're ready for dessert. And I'm
ready.
going to show you how to do some lemon bars. Have you ever had lemon bars before?
It's been a long time, but I love lemon. So I'm
If
looking
you love
forward to
lemon,
it.
then you'll love this. So what you have to do first is the crust. And so you've got a 9 by 13 inch pan. You make the crust in here. You just put together a half a cup of white sugar, a cup of butter, that's 2 sticks, and 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You put it in a bowl like this, and the best way to do it is just get in there with
Get in
your
there.
hands,
Okay.
and you just mix it around. Then when it gets fairly mixed together, you put it in the ungreased pan, and you just flatten it out.
Okay.
Then you put it in the oven, 350 degrees. I did this for about 18 minutes. So anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, you know your oven better than anybody else. So
Right.
that's how you do it.
It's
So
just a thin layer.
it's just a thin layer of the crust. And then you need to put your lemon loveliness
Ooh, yeah.
on top of that.
The good
So
stuff.
what you do, how about you start breaking the eggs?
I sure will.
You have a cup and a half of white sugar. So there's about a cup, and there's another
I got
half
a show.
a cup.
Sorry about that. I got it.
Oh my goodness, what am I going to do with you?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what. Then there's a quarter cup of flour. It's very simple. We've got 3 eggs in there, another 4 eggs. Now you do have the juice of 2 lemons,
Wow.
and I already did a few
Lemony.
here. Yes, it is lemony. So, and this is a nifty little gadget right here.
We sell that.
And I know.
I'm just saying. Yeah, it is neat.
So you get all of the juice out of 2 lemons, and so you get so much
Keeps
pulp.
the seeds from
You get,
going
yeah,
through.
it keeps the seeds from going through, and you got some pulp there, and it ends up being about a half a cup.
Okay.
A half a cup of, don't want those seeds to go in there. So there we go. About a half a cup of the lemon juice. There we go. and then you just whisk it together.
And then you just lather the top.
Yep.
You spread it. Okay.
You just spread it right over top.
And then you have to cook it again.
You have to cook it again. It's the same temperature. It's 350 degrees.
Okay.
And you put it in for about 20 minutes for the lemony. But you see how easy it is.
Yes, it is.
There's
easy.
not much to it.
No. You got that sweet and sour.
Oh, it's awesome. It is awesome. And you know, sweet and sour is a new trend for 2016. Combination of sweet and salty, or sweet and sour.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's another trend for 2016. So it just takes a couple minutes, a couple seconds actually, and then you just literally pour it over the top.
No kidding.
You just pour it over the top there, and you make sure that it spreads out.
Yeah.
And that's what you take and you put that in the oven for about 20 minutes. And what you come out with are these lovely lemon bars.
They look moist.
You put a little confectioner sugar on top, sprinkle that on top.
After it's cooled?
Yes,
Okay.
after it's cooled. That's one thing I wanted to show you real quick. This was my pan that I made my, my finished product in, and I wanted to let people know I cut this when it was hot. And it's a little ragged, so you want to make sure that you let it cool. And I decided, why not try a pizza cutter? And it works great. So you just cut it
nice and clean.
Yep, cut it nice and clean. Oh, I did crooked lines, didn't I?
Yeah.
But
Too small.
yeah, too small. But then you just pull them out, put them on a plate.
See, that's nice.
So would you like one?
Of course. Yes.
And I'll take a little one.
Yeah.
So here we
Cheers.
go.
Cheers.
Cheers. The best lemon bars ever. The best lemon
Really good.
bars. They're really, really good.
They are good. Thank you, Donna.
You're welcome. I love these spots. They're great. Well, we gave a lot of information today. Hope you enjoyed it. As you can see, I am surrounded here in the greenhouse, and these racks coming in every single day. We've got geraniums, we've got all of the vegetable plants that you need, so come in and check that out. Don't forget, you can check us out on our website, willeyfarmsde.com. Of course, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. You can find us in all of the social media, so please check us out. And don't forget where we're located. It's easy, it's simple, Route 13, Townsend. If you're traveling on 1, get off in Odessa, come south, or get off at Smyrna and come north. Easy to find. We're here 7 days a week, 8 o'clock in the morning till 7 p.m. at night. Thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go have some more lemon bars right now. I'm Donna Cavender. Have a good day.